Hello and welcome to a little announcement video regarding my Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play. I've said in this past several episodes repeatedly that I have a ton of unedited episodes on a backlog that wait for upload. More than 200 by now. And this is a state I really don't like. And I thought, what can I do about this problem that my episodes are so utterly unactual to where I am right now in the game? And I think I start a separate playlist at the beginning of Heavensward. That would throw out the next, the next 100 episodes or so. Well, not throw out, they will be uploaded eventually, but yeah. No, two separate playlists, one for the Realm Reborn stuff, one for Heavensward, and probably as we continue on, I put Stormblood and Shadowbringers and whatever else follows into separate playlists as well, so that is a bit ordered. Yeah, that's the important part. However, since I cannot expect everyone who comes to my channel to know what happens in between what I uploaded so far in A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, I wanted to recap a bit. I think I start where the current episodes are right now. We just defeated Garuda, and yeah, Gaius Van Belzer showed up and demonstrated his new Imperial superweapon. And we fled. On Alfino's recommendation, we returned to the Waking Sands to find Ida and Ishtola, who managed to escape the attack because they happened to not be around. Together, we make a plan to save the other Scions from the Imperial Fortress. Ishtola has figured out where they are held. Then, first we go to Ishka to learn, to Korthas, to learn what their scouts have figured out about the Imperial movement, and we learn of an airship that crash landed, and that Biggs and Wedge fled from there. We save those two, and they help us in our continued plan. Disguised as Imperial soldiers, we sneak into Castrum Sentry, the Imperial fortress where the Scions are held, and save them. However,
what in the seven hells? Oh no, it's here.
12 preserve us. They finished it. Ultima weapon.
So it has a name.
It is a relic of ancient Alag, excavated from its resting place deep beneath Alamigo. The Alagans used it to crush primal and foe alike, and now the Garleans mean to do the same.
Damn you, Gaius! Look! There, beside the Black Wolf. An Ascian. An overlord, no less. His garb attests to that.
La Habrea. It could only be him. Thancred! He was La Habrea? No. No, this cannot be!
We have to go now! Hang on!
They sacred! No!
Here we learn that Thancred is possessed by the Ascian La Brea and has been helping the Empire for quite some time now. We return with our entire saved party to Ulda, where we are just in time to convince the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance not to surrender to the Empire and their Ultima weapon.
Admiral! I fear you are mistaken.
Alfinord, Minfilia, and 7 hells. Master Garland?
And you, dear friend.
By Ralga, you're alive. All of you.
As we approached, I would swear I heard talk of surrender. But I know that cannot be. It is not the Eorzean way.
Hear me, my friends. Accepting the Garleans' offer to vanquish the Primals would be folly. Folly, I say. For might is not the answer to the Primal threat. Indeed, the more the Empire exerts its strength, the worse matters will become. Primals enter this world when mortals call upon them, and mortals are wont to appeal to a higher power when they are desperate. Nothing is more certain to breed desperation in the beast tribes than the Garleans' proposed solution.
The true answer lies in a lasting peace. But the Garleans only know war and conquest. Should Eorzea fall into their hands, there will be such suffering as none can imagine.
We are not blind to the many challenges that each of your nations face. Yet you must not give in.
Remember 5 years ago when you wagered all for the sake of the realm? Remember what you fought for, what you were willing to die for. Let the memories rekindle the fire in your heart, for Eorzea has need of it again.
Come what may, we Scions will never give up the fight. And so I bid you stand with us, and together we shall safeguard the future of the realm.
A great man once said that a shrewd merchant grasps not for the quick profit, but invests in the future. Wise words, eh, Ralban?
Sid,
Your words stir and shame me in equal measure. How could I contemplate surrender? I know full well that all we have, we owe to the sacrifices of those who went before us. Yet the seeming hopelessness of our plight robbed me of my insight.
For Eorzea!
Instead, we begin plans for a counteroffensive that ultimately results into major main story dungeons, where we first get access to the main facility of the Imperial Fortress in Castrum Meridianum, and then destroy the Ultima weapon and kill Gaius von Belzer. Also, we managed to free Thancred from La Brea, and for all our efforts, we are declared the Warrior of Light. Credits roll. That was the initial end of A Realm Reborn. Then, of course, comes a lot of patch content that leads up to Heavensward. Okay, a cut. I tried to do it all free speech, but after the credits, it got really messy. So I scratched that and do this with a freaking script. Yeah, here we go. After the great victory over the Imperial forces, now declared as the beginning of the 7th Astral Era, the Scions of the 7th Dawn have gained quite a bit of fame, so much so that many people try to buy favors with us and, well, get us to be indebted to them. And Minfilia and most of the other Scions are struggling whether to accept these kinds of conditional help, as it would mean sacrificing our neutrality. Alphinaud, however, has a clear opinion and a clear idea what needs to be done. He says the Scions' independence must be protected at all cost, and he recommends relocating out of Ulda and the Waking Sands to an independent area free from all the political machinations that are happening here. He recommends Revenant's Hall in Mordona. Minfilia is not happy with this and throws back all kinds of flimsy excuses why this isn't possible, but it's clear she has a reason she isn't saying. And we quickly learn from Alphinaud that the reason Minfilia does not want to move is she lost her mother, her adopted mother Flamine, some years ago, and recently there have been rumors that Flamine is still alive and has been sighted in the area, and she hopes to see her mother again. So if we want to get further with this, Alphinaud asks our help to either find Flamine or disprove these rumors. We find her, and Flamine agrees to support this cause, and with her support, Minfilia finally agrees to relocate the Scions to Mordona. Next, we receive a request for aid from Gridania. A bunch of scared Mughals summoned a figure from Mughal mythology, the King Mogulmok the 12th, as a primal or primal-like being. So we deal with that. After that, when our preparations to move are almost complete, Minfilia is approached by an Ascian in white robes who introduces himself as Emissary Elidibus. Tell me, Louisoix, would you have done the same? Louisoix Levelier was a remarkable man, wise beyond mortal measure. Would that I have met him prior to his passing. An Ascian? Here? How readily you see. You are indeed gifted, antecedent. But you are not like the others. Your robes. Gifted, but ignorant. Yet I shall not judge you harshly. The fault lies with your forebears. It has been millennia. Mine are the robes of an emissary. Unlike he who came before, I have no quarrel with you. You speak of La Habrea? La Habrea is a warrior. He fought, he fell. He may yet learn from his mistakes. Then he still... Come, I only confirm that which you already knew. There's no cessation, no oblivion, only expulsion. You... what are... We're ready when you are, my lady. If there's nothing else. Is something the matter? I feel the same way. After everything that's happened here, it feels strange to leave, but I'm sure we'll soon get used to Revenant's toll. Well, I'll let you say your goodbyes. Take as long as you like, my lady. We shall depart whenever you're ready. It is only expected. She lacks the gift and the knowledge both. To her, we are indistinct. I do not understand. Shadowless, fleshless, formless. What truth there is in each tale is diluted by time and telling. Knowledge dictates expectation, and expectation colors perception. Thus did she perceive naught. So it is with all but a chosen few. Even you, when young, could not yet see with eyes unclouded. You know nothing about me. Nothing! The gift grants you clarity. It grants you focus. With it you may in time come to see us as we are, rather than this crude approximation. La Habrea did not think so highly of the Echo. La Habrea is wrong about a great many things. The Echo is indeed a gift, albeit one you have yet to master. And if we did? There would be no strife between our peoples, for we would be of one mind. I leave as I came, in peace antecedent. May we meet again as friends. Wait, stay where you are! Aha! Mayhap I was indelicate. 'Tis a mercy she shields her children from disgrace with such resolve. Was it also by her hand that you survived Viador, I wonder? Remarkable, truly remarkable. I thank you for granting me this indulgence. None save she who bested La Habrea could endure such examination. Have the laws of man grown so twisted in my absence that it is now permitted to lay hands upon an emissary? You bore witness to my audience of the antecedent, did you not? When you know I acted only in self-defense. I realize the same cannot be said of La Habrea. Even among his brethren he is considered unique. Nonetheless, I cannot wholly condemn his misdeeds, for through them we discovered you, one so strong in the gift that she could cast us out. Your mother favors you still, that much is plain, but surely you must feel it. Her influence wanes and her strength shall soon be spent. These lands, these people, this world, all shall soon change. As it was, so it shall be again, as it should always have been. Doubt my claims and question my motives if you will. Only believe me when I say this. I am Elidibus, emissary, bearer of a word of a one true God, and we shall meet again. And finally, we inaugurate our new headquarters under the name The Rising Stones. However, there's also bad news. We lost contact with our allies, the students of Baldessian, and later learn that there's the area where the headquarters has been completely annihilated, and that plot first remains unresolved till the start of Heavensward, so there isn't much happening, but I think it will become relevant. When we are asked to aid an investigation regarding stolen crystals, which could lead to primals, which surprisingly leads not to the Amalja as first anticipated, but to the Sargin, meaning that Leviathan's return is suddenly a very real threat. But that we have to put that on hold as we return at Alphanor's request to Ulda, where a small fleet of refugee ships from a distant land named Doma arrived, and their leader, Lady Yugiri, tells us that the Gallian Emperor has died and the War of Succession has broken out, and her people tried to use the opportunity to gain independence from the Empire, but failed. Lady Yugiri tries to receive asylum in Ulda, but the Uldan government, the Syndicate, under the leadership of one Lord Lolorito, refuses to give any aid. Alphino proposes this to house the Domans in Mordona, in Revenant's Toll, and an Uldan lord named Teleji Adeleji offers to pay for the costs of that movement. Later, in gratitude for our support, Lady Yugiri offers the Scions the support of herself and her ninjas, as this is clearly a Far Eastern hinted area. Yeah. And so Lady Yugiri is part of a group who investigates the Saragin, and as it turns out, the priest responsible possesses the power of the Echo we have as well, and it makes him extremely hard to kill. Hard enough that he manages to summon Leviathan before he is killed by it. It takes a bit of effort to figure out how to fight Leviathan at the open sea, as where he has all advantages, but we manage and defeat the Lord of the Hole. But of course the next problem doesn't wait for long. The refugees that have been amassing in Ulda and living a life in poverty have finally rebelled, but it quickly turns out that that was inspired, and as it turns out, Teleji Adeleji's aid for the Domans wasn't quite so selfless as it first appeared. He wishes to enact a bill to use refugees to resettle the Cartano Plains, the battlefield where the calamity happens, and the big battle against the Empire in the very beginning of the story. However, the Cartano Plains have been revealed a site of ancient ruins, among them the relic of an ancient superweapon, Omega. And Teleji wants control of Omega, that's why he proposed that bill. We have barely requited, but not permanently solved the problem. With the refugees, we are called back to Gridania. The Sylphs have summoned Ramu, but since Ramu is known to be wise and just, and the Sylphs are usually not hostile, we attempt diplomacy, but Ramuh has little trust in humanity, is however willing to test the Warrior of Light in a trial by combat, to prove that we indeed are the champion of peace, and you know it all. Which we do. With Scions constantly running all over the place, Alphinaud proposes the establishment of a company of people who want to help, like a mini grant company of people from all over the continent who want to help the continent as a whole, not just any particular area. And he continues with that, and soon the Crystal Braves are established with Alphinaud as their commander.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
Okay, from here on out, there are two plot threads that we more or less alternate between. The first one, I just go over them separately here. Together with the Crystal Braves and the Doman Ninjas, we are searching for a Garlean spy in the Grunt Companies, as it ultimately turns out that is Flame General Rauban's second in command, Flame Marshal Roel. The second plot thread involves Ishgard. During our adventures with the Enterprise, we saved Lord Frenzel and gained the friendship of Lord Horchefont. And Lord Horchefont supported the Scions with deliveries to Revenant's Toll, with supply deliveries. And the latest delivery has been robbed. We quickly find out that the robbers were Ishgardian heretics and their new leader, Lady Iceheart. We also learn that under her leadership they have become better organized and more zealous. We even managed to get a glimpse at her, a pale Elysian woman with white hair and a blue coat. Seemingly unconnected to these events, we receive an invitation to an audience with Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of Ishgardian Temple Knights, which is highly unusual given how isolationist the Ishgardians typically are. Alphinaud wants to convince them to rejoin the Eorzean alliance they left some 15-20 years ago. Sir Emmerich, however, makes clear that Ishgard has no intention to do so, and has a counteroffer. The astrologians of Ishgard have foretold the return of Midgard Sommer, the keeper of a lake and father of dragons. If we keep watch over the Dragon's Corp for any sign of his resurrection of a dragon, he will ensure that their supply deliveries for Revenant's Toll continue with the full support of the Holy See, the government of Ishgard. And mere moments after we accept that deal, a sentry storms in to inform Lord Horchefont that the next delivery has been robbed as well. The investigation brings two things to light. First, it seems the heretics are headquarters in Snowcloak, an area that appears to be a solid wall of ice, but is in fact riddled with countless hidden tunnels, And the other thing is, they plan to summon their patron saint Shiva in form of a primal. Calling in the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights, with some luck we find and identify the most likely correct path and following it we indeed encounter Lady Iceheart.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
However, we cannot follow her through the Aetherytes she fled through, as she likely destroyed the Aetheryte at the other end at arriving. The Scions decide to call in an expert to aid them, as finding an alternate route to the Heretic Sanctum is a task of months. Then, in a meeting with the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, we learn that war of succession in Galmald is over and a new emperor is crowned. It is only a matter of time until their incursion into Eorzea resumes. Our expert Moon Breeder finally arrives, and it is clear she is an old friend of the Scions, Urianger especially. Her main work is on white oversight, something to entrap large amount of ether short term, and originally focusing on using it as part of a weapon that can permanently destroy the seemingly immortal Ascians. The idea is simple. The Ascian's immortality works by this. In the moment of death, the Ascian's soul is not returning to the ether. Instead, it flees to an in-between world that can safely heal and return at will. By using white oversight, we could prevent that flight and destroy the soul, provided we find the means to do so. But back to our problem with Shiva. Moonbreeder indeed has a solution. Using her white oversight, we can create a burst of magic that would temporarily restore the teleport nexus of a missing Aetheryte. Risky, but we lack other options. We succeed and reach the Heretic Sanctum. Lady Iceheart is not happy to see us there and summons Shiva, but unlike the summons we have witnessed so far, she offers herself up as a vessel for the summoning, becoming Shiva.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
After defeating her, she turns back to normal, and Lady Aysard flees with the words, "Hear, feel, think," the words of Hydaelyn, and that we should learn the truth of the Dragonsong War from Midgard Soma. Lady Aysard as well possesses the Echo, and was in touch with Hydaelyn, just as we are. After that, we aid the Crystal Braves and the Scions with various minor problems and begin to see subtle signs that not all is well within the Braves. Then we receive a request from Sir Emeric's second-in-command, Lucia, to investigate the corpse of Midgard Soma. That request, together with Lady Aysard's cryptic words, let us indeed go there to find that, while his body may be dead, Midgard Soma's spirit is very much alive, and informs us that indeed his children sing of the destruction of Ishgard, and he would join them. As he is about to kill us, Hydaelyn reveals us to be her chosen, and the Wormlord acquiesces to her wishes. However, he invokes his own covenant with her.
Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
And strips us of a blessing of light if we are to test if we are indeed a worthy champion. Forthwith, he accompanies us unseen until he reaches his conclusion. We return to inform Lucia that indeed the dragons are about to attack Ishgard, but keep our talk with Midgard Sommer secret, as talking with a dragon could be seen as heresy in Ishgard. After that, Moonbreeder calls for a meeting. She finally has figured out a potential way to provide the necessary energy to destroy an Ascian. She developed a device that can siphon the power of crystals in a large area and ask for a testing ground to determine how well it works and how much power it can siphon. As we are doing this, we are approached by another Ascian, Nabrialis, who is surprised and pleased to learn that we lost the blessing of light, as it did not only protect us, but also our headquarters, the Rising Stones. Now we can simply go there and attack Minfilia and take Tupselmati, Luiswa's staff, which is a powerful relic for ether channeling. We hurry back there just in time to stop him and save the woman and the relic. But Nabrialis is gloating. He may have lost today, but he is immortal. He can simply try again whenever he pleases. So we decide a little test for Moonbreeder's new weapon.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, Scions.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No. No! Cannot! No!
Use Tupsamati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free! Concentrate! Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence!
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
Master Louisoix, I understand now. The choice you made. In death, there is life. Farewell, Urianger. You damned old coot.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
Moonbreeder sacrifices herself to make it happen, and the Scions are distraught about the loss of a good friend. Yet our time for grief is short. All too soon we receive a request for aid from Ishgard. The heretics damage the city's outer defenses, and a dragon attack will not wait for long. We ask the Grand Companies for aid, but they refuse to offer more than token support, as they have their hands full and only offer to pay for a bunch of mercenary groups. That will have to suffice, and it does. And yet, they use this opportunity to hold a grand victory feast, to which the Scions are invited as well. Before we go there are some minor quests again, that however make abundantly clear something truly is not right with the Crystal Braves. On the eve of a victory celebration, the Sultana Nanamo requests the Warrior of Light for a private audience.
You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion. I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy. You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate. 'Tis mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few. Yet, that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground. Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand. You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me? I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. Much of my dread for the coming days has been quieted.
Your Grace! Her Grace, the Sultana, is dead. Poison in her wine? You did this!
Spare us your denials! I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance. I hereby accuse you of regicide! Men, arrest this viper!
Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control.
At about the same time, there's mutiny within the Crystal Braves, and Alphinaud is arrested. Telegi storms Victory Feast with some soldiers, both brass blades and crystal blades, and announces the assassination of the Sultana, barely suppressing his smug satisfaction, and General Rauban snaps and simply cuts him down where he stands. In the ensuing struggle, Rauban loses an arm and is arrested for murder, but not before helping the Scions and the Warrior of Light escape. During our escape, bit by bit our companions remain behind to intercept pursuers until it's only Minfilia and us. When Minfilia declares she hears Heidelin's voice and it's the goddess's will, she remained behind. With no other choice, we continue alone. Later we meet up with Alphinaud, who has been saved by Rauban's adopted son Pippin, and shortly thereafter we meet Sid, who carries us to Camp Dragonhead in Corvus. On the good side, Lord Horshafant has our back and we can hide here. Also, Lady Yugiri found us and brought Tatari along. On the bad side, Alphinaud is destroyed about the betrayal of his company, the Crystal Braves. And the credits roll once more, to the end of A Realm Reborn. And here we begin with Heavensward, after Lord Horshafant manages to convince his father to grant us asylum in the Ishgard city proper as guests of House Fortomb.
The dawn's light will shine again. So long as we have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything. You must go to Ishgard, as Tataru proposed. I will return to Uldar and set things right.
Pray, do not be so hasty, Master Alphinaud.
Lord Horshafant.
Full well do I understand your desire to clear your names. But now is not the time for drastic action. You yet have allies upon whom you can rely. There is no need to act alone.
Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience.
I bring tidings. Count Edmond has decreed that the three of you be taken in as wards of House Fortin. Under our patronage, you shall be granted access to the city proper. Pray, consider our manor your new headquarters, from which you may gather information and plan how best to proceed. Needless to say, should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there.
You are more than generous, my friend. On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your offer of hospitality.
The Count is a good man, and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves.
To Ishgard, then. Together. There we shall carry on the Scions' legacy. There we shall begin anew.